My name is Brian Fitzgerald. I'm head of digital networking at Greenpeace International. I joined the organization in 1982. The fact of scarcity is ultimately a fact that we live on a finite planet. But is it so scarce that it can't support 7 billion human occupants? No. I mean, I think what we're facing is really a distribution problem. Gandhi's famous phrase, there's plenty to satisfy human need, but not enough to satisfy human greed. And I think that's it in a nutshell. It's a matter of how we approach economics of scale, how we approach the importance of feeding and fueling our world in a way that's sustainable and relies on renewable cycles. All of that stuff is out there. We have the technology, we have the ingenuity to apply to all those things, and there is ultimately plenty to go around, but it requires a radical rethink of how we acquire, distribute, produce, feed and fuel our world. Well, if you look at what Spain or Germany have done with renewable energy, absolutely astounding stuff. You know, Spain, first country in the world to generate more power through renewable energy, wind and solar, than they were doing through conventional methods for one day last year when it was extremely windy. And they've challenged this concept that because wind power and solar power are intermittent, they're not reliable sources. Well, you put them both on a grid, and a grid the size of Spain's, and someplace it's always windy, someplace it's always sunny, and they have managed to power their country with a tremendous influx of renewable energy and phase out nuclear power at the same time. So, there's an example of an entire nation that's living up to the standard that we believe every nation could live up to, and with, I think, fairly conservative investment. I met Max Kaiser many years ago, who's a bit of a financial activist, and his advice to us was you guys should be more hard-nosed than the most vicious corporate sector. You should be doing hostile takeovers. You should be doing mergers and acquisitions. The inefficiency of 12 little groups working on the same problem in their own different way with the same tactics is an absolute crazy way to work. And he's right. He's absolutely right. There's a strong sense of, this is my NGO identity. These are the values that I have, and the slightest variation in those values between groups can mean the difference between cooperating and not cooperating, or feeling that we're on the same side. And I honestly don't know how you fix that, but I think it has to be fixed, and I think it will be fixed. I think as the urgency of the problems that we're facing rises, the concept that this isn't a game. We need to get our act together on this and start to act like, the departments, separate departments of a single unit, a single movement, rather than competing organizations that have different objectives, because we don't. We all have the same objective.